you're going to get...
Oh, we're live. Oh, you guys caught us in an intimate moment there.
Oh, sorry. I'm just a little exhausted today. Ben was being my buddy, holding my head up, just exhausted, guys. It's been a go, go, go type of season so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, guys, thank you for tuning us. Hopefully you guys can hear us. We're fine. Our audio's working good. Boop, 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 boop.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded. Perfect. Well, what are we going to call today, Ben?
It's going to be Teamwork Wednesday. Teamwork Wednesday, just like that. You were leaning on me for some support there for a second. Teamwork.
I need a little teamwork action. And
Allegiance and alliance. We'll get to that
in a few minutes.
You know how we do this.
So, guys, the promo of the SiriusXM, buy 5, get 1 free, obviously still going on. I'm not going to talk about that too much in detail. We've talked about it every episode, so that way you know what's going on with them.
Easy attachments, just do them. Just attach. Make more money.
Yeah, just keep on attaching, guys. It's about money. Sony retail and ES promo is still going on. Tons of ES promos. If you guys haven't seen, I did post up a few days ago that the new GS speakers and amplifiers are in. So it's an aggressive price point, very protected online, and obviously it's GS brand, so you know that it's going to be quality speakers. And I actually like their packaging. It's brown. It's eco-friendly. It actually looks really, really good on showroom floors. So, guys, if you're not familiar with the GS line, get a hold of your sales reps so that way we can talk about GS. And also, if you're interested in the ES line, remember that is exclusive. You do have to do a buy-in for that. You do have to sign a contract. Not too many dealers are going to be put on for ES. So if you're interested in ES for your shops, make sure you talk about, you get a hold of your sales rep so that way we can tell you all the details.
Yeah, and it's a great lead-in. If you're not an ES dealer, get some of that GS stuff in-house. Try some of it out. I'm a GS and an ES owner, the 1985 Corvette, which it's going to get on the road at some point in time. You're just going to have to trust me on this, but that's an all GS. Jonathan knows that all too well. But that's an all GS vehicle. Awesome sounding stuff. You can only imagine from there, if you have a great sounding GS, what the ES stuff is going to sound like as well. So if you're not an ES dealer, maybe you're not quite ready to do the buy-in, you want to tiptoe in there, get some of that GS stuff in there, give it a test. It's only going to get better from there. And on the contrast side, if you're an ES dealer, now you've got something to step a customer down. And obviously you're going to go trying to nail ES with every single sale. You're going to try to maximize. You want to give that customer the best possible experience. But not every customer is looking to maybe shell out what it takes to get that best possible experience. Now you can give them a tremendous experience, reduce the price down, still keep them in one of your favorite lines, and then make sure you impress them at the budget that they came in for. So it can work both ways there. I think the moral of that story is try some of it out. We got it here. Make sure you ask us on it.
And if you guys need to demo it out, actually, my F-150 is a full GS car, GS truck, sorry. One of the best sounding vehicles I've probably heard in a while. For being a mid-level speaker line, GS has definitely done their homework. The speakers look gorgeous. And it's one of the better soundings out there in the market. So we both have ES vehicles and GS vehicles. So if you want to take a demo out, Benny's got his TSX with all ES. I've got my truck with all GS. And you can hear the difference between the two. So check it out. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, and then again, going from that ES stuff, so that ES promo is there to support a contest that Sony has going. We wrapped up a couple contests recently, so congratulations to the Journey to Stillwater contest winners, the Mobile Solutions winners from Sony earlier. They also have the Race with Ryan Preece contest that is still going on. We are running out of time on that one. We've got right now only a handful of days. I don't do the math, but it ends at the end of the month. So,
yeah, I think it's a week and 2 days left.
So not very much time left. So you're probably not going to be able to get in on this contest at this point in time if you're not an ES dealer. But for the ES dealers that are in that running, make sure you take advantage of all the promos that we have going. And for the guys, again, that aren't ES dealers, that have been interested in it or have heard about it, even if you can't take advantage of this contest, know that this is what Sony does to support their ES dealers as well. So even if you can't take advantage of it this time around, I can guarantee you there's going to be something else coming down the pipe. That's just how it goes. I mean, unless they plan on changing that up in 2024, which I couldn't see it. They've been doing this, supporting dealers for years and years and years. You'll be able to take advantage of that stuff going forward, but right now you could still take advantage of all of the promos, retail and dealer promos for ES. So again, we're going to talk about that one every week as well, but if you're not, you want some information on being an ES dealer, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Next thing we want to talk about is the Solar Guard contest going on right now. So it's for every $250 you spend, all right, you get an opportunity. This is open to all the dealers that deal with Go Fast and are doing window tint. For every $250, you get one entry to the competition. The competition is called Beat the Heat. Why is it called that? Because one lucky person is actually going to get a chance to win that heat lamp display, which is a silent seller on your showroom floors, guys. Like that is one of the easiest sell to when you show a customer, you know, from no window tint to basic window tint to now your Vortex window tint and your Zenith window tint, ceramic, tint. The differences between the heat levels. Customers get impressed when they go from no window tint to now you go to, like, let's say Vortex. You're touching that glass, you're like, wow, this is cool to the touch. It makes a humongous difference. So one lucky person is actually going to win that display. So if you're not buying Solar Guard window film, all it takes is $250. And let me tell you, that's an easy feat for every sale. So guys, make sure if you're supporting Solar Guard or if you're interested in Solar Guard, let's talk about this contest because it's ending very, very soon also. And it's pretty cool because one lucky person will win that heat lamp.
Yeah, and we talked about it a little bit last week. Tint is a very, it's a category that we are expanding with at Go Fast all the time. You guys obviously are picking up steam with that, with all the brands that we're carrying out there, Solar Guard in particular. But one thing that's very difficult is really demoing for customers or upselling. You really have to rely on your sales pitch, which is great. We got a lot of great sales guys out there, but some people, you're just not going to convince them with words. You got to show them something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a soundboard where you could be like, hey, listen to this speaker versus this speaker. Hey, check out this screen and this GUI versus this one. You don't always have something readily available. Some guys make stuff, individually, but you always have something to actually show a customer. I'm a person you got to show. You could talk at me, I'm going to listen, but you show me, you might be able to get somewhere a little bit faster. So this demo or having this on hand will be a huge seller. So we're going to give one away for free, but if you think that could help out your business and help you sell more, let us know. They've got more of those too.
Yes. So guys, like Ben was saying, it is a silent salesperson. There's only, unless you're going to park 3 different cars in front of your shop and go from one car to the next car to the next
sit
car.
in the Tahoe real quick. What do you think? Oh, you're all sweaty now. No, go ahead, sit. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work.
It's not going to work out so great. So that heat lamp, like I said, it's got 4 different mirrors. You can show them from good, better, best. And let me tell you, it is a silent salesperson. Even you yourself will be shocked at how much heat rejection that it rejects. Each film differently rejects with that heat lamp. Remember, heat lamps produce heat, a lot of heat. So with the different stages, like, you can impress a customer and upsell. Remember, the higher the ticket, the more money you make. Because at the end of the day, especially with window film, you're spending peanuts, literally peanuts, for window film, and you're getting it all on labor. So it's all labor at that point. And it's very rare when you use a quality film, Solar Guard, new film, those quality films that you're going to see one of those come back unless you did a completely terrible install. It's very rare to see those come back, and you're never going to have a customer go, well, my tint is not rejecting all the heat that you said it would. They're not gonna shop you for that. They're literally gonna, it looks good. It does what it does. If you got the cheap guys, it doesn't do too much heat rejection. If you've got the guys that have like the exotic cars or willing to spend some money on the cars to keep them cool, the Vortex stuff and even the new film IR ceramic stuff is phenomenal. You can literally just go inside and just, sit in and be like, damn, this car is cool as touch. Do the windshield. I'm a believer. I keep the windshield 50% or up. I don't like any darker colors, just because it becomes a liability, number one, and number two, You really can't see at night, guys. You know, I see guys with like 5% on the windshield. And I'm like, how can they see? The glare, it's dark. It's like, why? How? So, guys, you know, do your due diligence. You know, try to convince. Always upsell, upsell, upsell.
Yeah, and it's Tesla Autopilot. That's how they're doing it. They're just not driving. They're just letting it
Yeah.
just go ahead.
Yeah, because that doesn't fail at all. That doesn't. No, you're trusting your life with a computer.
Yeah, just spray paint the windshield. Tesla will take care of it.
Yeah.
But if you want to get a little bit more in-depth idea on what that heat lamp is, if you want to hear John's pitch, John Nicholas from Solar Guard's pitch on how to upsell people, the profitability of tint, go ahead, check out that episode. He did a really great job with Bob of hooking us up with that. So go back, check it out, and he'll do some of that selling for us there.
Correct. And then you know, guys, mark your calendars. September 13th is the Winter Summit. For all you guys that have been to the Winter Summit, know how much information is given on that day. It's a day of learning about all winter products, i.e. starters, heated seats, GPS tracking. You know, you've got the LED light companies that are there, which you'll be surprised in the wintertime, you sell more lighting than you do in the summertime. And it's because it gets darker quicker. And obviously people are and it rolls back to tint. If you're tinting a car darker, the visibility is going to get harder to see. So imagine your halogens. You're driving down a dark road. You've got 20% on your windows, 5% on your windows, even 0% on your windows. And you're driving down the road and you're like, wow, this is kind of dark. I can't see. LED lights go hand in hand with that. There's also going to be a bunch of other things for keeping your vehicles clean in the wintertime. So, guys, check out our Winter Summit. Mark it on your calendar, September 13 at the MassMutual Center in Springfield, Massachusetts from 9, I want to say, till 5.
Well, I mean, it depends because the night can keep going on. We got the casino right there.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that can keep going on. We're going to keep you busy with some trainings. We're going to get you to learn on, but we have some fun there as well. So definitely mark the calendar.
Down the road, you get, you know, dollar bills floating,
you
know.
guys use your imagination there.
Hand sanitizer smell.
But make sure, mark the calendar now. We get people every year that with the intent of going, oops, totally forgot to put it on the calendar. I ended up booking a job that it's going to be very hard for me to reschedule. And now all of a sudden you miss out on, I can't even put a dollar value to it. It's free to you guys, but I can't put a dollar value on the amount of information that you can take away from this place. Again, we sponsored the Mobile Solutions Contest. People pay big bucks to go out to Mobile Solutions to get training. They stay in hotels. They have to pay airfare, all this other stuff. Huge expenses. We're just saying, hey, show up. We're going to feed you. We're going to train you. We're going to put you in front of all of the vendors, all the vendor trainers. Lots of stuff that's even outside of the box. You know, we do keynote speeches, all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk a whole lot about it, but the biggest thing, mark it on the calendar. It's a Wednesday again, like we normally do, so make sure you're not filling that one up.
September 13th, MassMutual, Springfield. Also, another pretty cool training that's coming up in, like, I want to say a week and a half, 2 weeks, is the Alpine Optum 8 training. That is going to be in Jersey. It's going to be
Kenilworth Inn. So the Kenilworth Inn in Kenilworth, New Jersey. It's going to go from 7:30. That's Wednesday the 9th. So Wednesday the 9th is going to go from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. So allows you guys to go wrap up everything at your shop, get in the car, head down. Maybe some of you got to close down a little bit early. We already have some guys I know that are registered. They're going to be traveling a little bit of a distance, so don't be afraid to travel for this one. But it's going to be an amazing, amazing training. You do have to RSVP for, so make sure I don't forget that. Get the link for RSVP. Let these guys know that you're going to be coming so that they can get you all your goods. They're going to be giving away shirts, certificates for people that complete the training. So make sure you give them the heads up that you're coming.
And Alpine's going to feed you too. Dinner is at 7:30 on the dot. So guys, if you're planning on going to this event, make sure you're there before 7:30 to get some dinner. Alpine's going to obviously wine and dine you and also train you. You know, it is a late night at 10:30. But once again, I've said it over and over again in many, many videos that trainings are a humongous part of your business. You need to get, trained on things that you're selling in order to be a professional and actually know about the product and sell the product. So if you're interested in going to trading, reach out to one of your sales reps. You do, like Ben said, have to get registered. And it is in Kentworth, in Kentworth, New Jersey, which is about 2.5 to 3, about 2.5, 45.
If you're right in the middle.
2 hours, 45 minutes, from the center of where we're at, Middletown. So it's not a long drive. I've taken 6, 7, 8, 9 hour drives and be perfectly fine. So just remember, RSVP, please.
Yeah, and the one other thing I would say, again, it's going to be after work, so they're not asking you to shut down business or anything like that. But if you had an opportunity, I remember when they did the status rollout and they had the webinar on there, Alpine Trainings, and I can say this for a lot of our vendors as well, but Alpine Trainings in particular, if they're going to ask you to be there, they're going to put on a quality training. I think that was probably one of the best webinars that I've ever sat on, most informative, and again, just visually impressive. Alpine, just like their products, they do things big. So I guarantee you, if you take the time out to go to this training, not only are you going to get trained on the Optim8, how to do all the
hidden menus, the syncing in, how to actually.
I'm gonna figure out the word. I was like,
yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. The tuning.
The tuning side of the DSP.
That was a tough one for me.
They're also going to show you the pretty cool feature of the Optim8 that it self-tunes itself just by waving your phone and the mic around, and it'll auto true time align, correct itself. It's a really, really cool piece. Colette has been going around to all the Alpine dealers and showing the product out, and actually does a live demo. Eric Brooks, which is their national trainer for Alpine, is going to be there at that event training you guys on the Optim8. A lot of you guys, believe it or not, need the training, need to learn about DSPs. You're still in 1995, still trying to use EQs and crossovers. Unfortunately, those days are gone. DSPs have taken over the world where you can do true time alignment. So you can make your car sound like you're in the center of the car. It doesn't matter what position you are in the vehicle. So definitely Wednesday, write it down, another good training. Alpine, Optim8, Wednesday, the 9th at Kenworth Inn in Kenworth, New Jersey from 7:30 to 10:30. It is a drive, like I said. Guys, it'll be well worth your time.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about the stuff that we got out there, but this time we always do a vendor spotlight in our teamwork theme with the Alliance Amplifier line. So
hold on.
Go right ahead.
I forgot to say, if you are in the New York, New Jersey locations also, and you're interested in doing Alpine, we are now your distributor for SRP accounts. In order for you to become an SRP account, get a hold of your sales rep. Or if you don't have a sales rep in that area, just call in and say, hey, I'm from New York, New Jersey. I'm interested in becoming an Alpine SRP dealer. Who can I talk to? They'll pass you over to one of the sales guys that handles that area. And let me tell you, it'll be well worth your time. Another company that's been out for quite some time with great brand recognition. We got a lot of those in our barn, actually.
Yeah, and that's actually a great point. Alpine is not a line that is open to everybody.
No.
If you are not an Alpine Direct or SRP account, you can't call me up to get Alpine today. But if you're interested in the Alpine line, if you think that'd be a great fit for your shop, let us know. Alpine is always taking applications for that as well. Good point, because we want to make sure that is clear. They got a lot of great stuff. You're going to want to know about that Optim8, but you got to be an authorized dealer or SRP account to get that.
You see what we did there, right? So not only do you have a brand like Alpine, you know what I mean, where it's exclusive to certain dealers, you have to obviously do a commitment. Usually Alpine dealers that are SRP accounts, let me tell you, they stick with Alpine. But we also have Sony ES. So we have, two great lines that are very exclusive. They don't allow people to come in, just anybody. Can't be Joe Smo down the street selling out of the back of a truck. It has to be a retail location. You have to be a distance from another location. It's not just open to everybody, and it's open to the great dealers. So guys, if you don't have Alpine or Sony Mobile ES in your barn, I don't know what you guys are doing with your shops. Exclusivity is humongous.
Yeah, and then tying that in, an EDA exclusive. So another exclusive brand that's out there. Not going to be as robust of a lineup. They're not going to be having head units. We're not doing speakers or anything like that. Alliance focuses on what they do great, and what they do great is amplifiers.
And it's not many of them, guys. So it's not going to be found online. There is, if it's online, it's at full retail. On top of that, they don't have many SKUs. It's literally like 6-7 SKUs. You go from the EL1000, which, if you look, this is a mono amplifier, tiny little footprint. You know, all their lineups are like that. You know, it's got some really, really nice connectors at the end. You know, solid. It's solid feel. It gives you that potentiometer feel when you're turning the gains on it. Comes all mono amplifiers, including the 5-channel, come with a bass knob. This is the 5-channel that they have. Puts out some serious power. We're talking about 80 watts RMS per channel, and on the sub portion at 2 ohms, 510 RMS.
Which you don't see in a lot of 5-channel amplifiers. Now, sometimes we have to be careful when we say stuff like this, because you don't want this to be a negative here. But we talked about Sony, yes, we just talked about Alpine. Got some really, really high-end stuff. So a lot of you guys are going to start out with that. You want to make as much money as possible. You want to get those big tickets, but you're going to get some customers that come in that don't quite have that budget. Maybe they're just getting started out, you know, it's their first car. Maybe they're coming in and they're just very budget friendly, and they say, hey, the wife only said I got X amount of dollars, but I want to get some awesome sound. That's really where Alliance can come in and fill those gaps in for you. A tremendous quality. That's why I want to say we got to be careful, because a lot of times when you talk entry-level price points or fitting people into a budget, you have to compromise with quality. Not the case with Alliance. So again, you can just tell by the feel of these things. I mean,
they're built little tanks.
They are a quality piece.
Even the 1000, the VL 1000 weighs a ton. It's like they don't use cheap components in these. These are all QC tested from the manufacturer out of the factory, so they're all guaranteed to work. The 5-channel is tiny. You know, you don't really see many 5-channels that are footprints like this. They're all Class D amplifiers. Anything that's mono 5-channel comes with a bass knob. What can I say? All, like I said, metal knobs on the side with the potentiometer, so you feel when you're turning it, it gives you that click feel. So it's good quality feel.
Yeah, I mean, 4-channel amps are going to have high pass, low pass, band pass. You could do mixed mono with them. Again, all the flexibility that you would want out of a line, you're going to go ahead and get with Alliance. And even the look of them, they're amps that you can go ahead and you can build a system. You can still build a system that you're proud of and that your customer's going to be proud to display, even if it didn't cost them a ton. So it's a line that we've had tremendous success with. We've got, I'd say, more specific accounts that are really, really capitalizing on it. So if you haven't heard of it, Alliance, shame on us for not putting that in front of you. But if you haven't heard of it, you haven't had a chance to try it, get in touch with us, get some in hand, and give yourself something to sell off of. You know, we all want to go ahead, like I said before, we all want to sell the highest end stuff, but we got to have something that fits in the mix everywhere. Alliance gives you some of those big numbers that people like. Again, 4,000 D on there. Some of your customers are going to come in and say,
Zero gauge.
I need something that says 1,000, 5,000, 4,000. I need something on there. That's how I know it's going to be quality, even if it's not necessarily going to be putting out 4,000 watts. Again, that one does not put out 4,000 watts. It's not intended to. But some of our customers need to see that. So Alliance recognizes that. Alliance not going out and saying that this is a 4,000 watt amplifier.
No, but this amplifier does do 1,000 watts RMS. Oh, that's another thing I forgot.
At 1 ohm.
At 1 ohm. I forgot that. Every mono amplifier that Alliance does is 1 ohm stable. So you could run them down to 1 ohm and get maximum power out of it. And I was going to tell Ben, hold that 4-channel up. So this 4-channel amplifier, if you look at it, about almost the same size. This is the 4,000D. This is the 1,200.4D. They make a 2,000.4D, same exact size as the 1,200.4D. Now, the 1,200.4D does 90 watts RMS. The 2,000.4D, and this is at 4 ohms, I'm telling you. The 2,000.4D does 150 watts RMS at 4 ohms. about 300 watts RMS at 2 ohms. So can you imagine what it does in bridge mode? Insane amount of power. Tiny footprints, you can fit anywhere. Solid feel, like legit. This is probably about, I want to say, a 10-pound amp for being a small amp like this. You know, and like I told you, all 1 ohm stable on the monos. 4 channels are 2 ohm stable. 5 channels are 2 ohm stable. Like I said, tiny footprints, even on if you're doing like a simple cheap subwoofer package. Right here, you got tiny footprints at a very aggressive price point. Give your sales rep a call. We have them. They're in stock, and like I said, very, very aggressive price points. Heavy footprint, nice looking. I want to say gunmetal gray color.
Yeah, very, very slick looking. This stuff is great for pro audio. A lot of pro audio customers, you need some big power. Again, they're 4 channels, like Jonathan was saying, got some big power. So great for pro audio stuff as well as just more of the traditional audio line. And again, you're going to get some people that come in, and that's why, again, I want to go back to the model numbers and things like that on here. This is a very strategic move by Alliance, and this is how you're going to be able to help sell better to your customers. Unfortunately, we still get guys that go ahead. Maybe they go on eBay before they come in. Maybe they're on Facebook Marketplace. Maybe they're on Amazon. Maybe they're buying something that's overseas. You get this.
Why do I
I'm
have?
just gonna move on. From that
Why
one.
do I have socks in my pocket? That's a question.
We're totally off the rails right now. But you'll get somebody that comes in and they're like, "Hey, I have this 1,000-watt subwoofer, and I need to get an amp that's going to drive it." Now they've been told by whoever that this is a 1,000-watt sub. Maybe it says 1,000 watts peak power if the thing got struck by lightning on there. They hand it to you. It's got a CR 2032 battery as a magnet on there, and you know that if you plug that thing in and put it in as a door speaker on like a 1995 Buick, that factory system is going to blow that sub. You know the customer is been misinformed, but they're going to insist to you, I need 1,000 watts. Well, that's again where Alliance comes in. Now you got something like a VL1000, gives the customer that, unfortunately, uninformed customer, that nice warm fuzzy feeling of seeing that 1,000 watt, but this is going to put them into the budget that they need to be, and it's going to be about the amount of power that they're going to need for that stuff. So again, it's a little bit of kind of playing the good guy role for you when somebody else is maybe not informed. Other manufacturers didn't inform their customers properly. You could still get them what they're asked for without totally destroying their dreams, and you fit into the right price. You weren't wearing those things. Smell a little funky.
Oh, they smell good. Yeah, so like Ben was saying, it's funny because there is a mind game when it comes to numbers on amplifiers. I've heard it. I've seen it. I know Ben has seen it. All our sales guys have seen it.
There's a lot of brands out there that you guys are selling right now that are doing it too.
Yeah. I need a 5,000 watt amplifier for this 6,000 watt subwoofer, and you ask them the brand, you're like, that doesn't do that. That amplifier only puts out like 500 watts RMS. Just because it says it does 16,000 watts, it's not CEA power rated. These are all tested to output the power that it states on the box. So the 4000D, it's a maximum output of 4,000 watts, but on the box in bold clear print, it says 1,000 watts RMS at 1 ohm. They have all been QC tested to put out the power that they're stated on the boxes and the birth sheets. So guys, this is a line that you can rely on. Really, really can rely on. Quality build, big power, small chassis, Class Ds, bass knobs.
Priced right.
Priced extremely right. And
you could make some money on it too.
And online, no online, presentation. It's literally what you see is retail prices online, and what you see is an amplifier that's going to make you some money at an entry-level price point. Because let's face it, we all have those cheap customers. We may be a very high-end shop doing, a few $1 million a year, but you always get those guys rolling in with the Honda Civics and the Toyotas. Not saying anything's wrong with them, just saying that there are price-conscientious people out there, which they're not looking to spend $1,000 on an amplifier. They're looking to spend a few $100s, grab out, go out.
Yeah, and their money's green. Just because maybe it ain't as much of it, that money's still green. You want to still take it. and you want to still provide them with something that they feel they're getting a good value for. Again, Alliance, a huge supporter of Go Fast, Mobile Expo 2023, platinum sponsor. If you didn't know, now you know. Give it a shot. And if you need more information, you can go on to gofst.com. You can pick up the phone, let us know. We'll be happy to tell you more about it.
And last but not least, we want to talk about e-bikes.
Ooh, a little something different.
Yeah, a little something.
Wrapping up a little different today.
Where we get into a little bit of everything. We get into Oakley sunglasses, racing oils, we get into LED lighting, we get into remote starters, amplifier kits, little trees, air fresheners, you name it, the Rag Company, racing helmets, fire suits. You know, we are not just a distributor of 12-volt electronics. We are a distributor of everything electronics and everything that can make some money to you and us. At the end of the day, if you're not thinking outside the box, your competition is. And, you know, we've heard it all from e-bikes. Why are you guys carrying e-bikes, this, that, and the third? You know, but here's reality. You ready for this? Reality is, go out. Literally, go out on a weekend. Go to Block Island. Go to New York. You know, the city. Go to your neighborhoods. Go to the parks.
Yeah, a campground.
Campground.
You can go to a golf course. You can go anywhere with a boardwalk.
Guess what? They're on some e-bikes. They really are. A lot of guys are on e-bikes, especially at campgrounds. I found out the hard way. I went camping and saw a lot of people on e-bikes going around the campsites. Because let's face it, if you ever been to a campground, the bathrooms aren't five-minute walk. It's literally a 20-plus minute walk sometimes to the restrooms and the showers. So a lot of guys rolling around with e-bikes, you know what I mean? A lot of those campsites also has like little beaches, lakes they can hang out with. And I see people parking them on the lakes and beaches, you know, to get there. Reality is, guys, e-bikes are selling left and right. We are carrying one of the most premier e-bikes. It's not some off-name brand, built-in bike. You got to take the whole bike, plug it in, blah, blah, blah. You know, we're talking about an e-bike that has a separate battery on its own. We're talking about an e-bike that if, let's say, unfortunately, I'm lazy, so it's got 3 levels. You know, you got the manual one that you pedal yourself. The stage 2 is assisted pedaling. So if you're going up a hill, you're trying to pedal, you know, it helps you go up that hill. Then the stage 3 is full automatic. It just goes for yourself. High torque. Takes my fat beep up a hill. You know, we're talking about a person close to 300 pounds up a hill with ease and still speeding up. A good charge on it. Like I said, it's foldable, so you can put it in your car, in the trunk, in a bag. Comes with a bag. It's not just your typical e-bike that you see out there, solid frame. This is meant with people in mind. You know, this is meant for you to understand that you can take this, collapse it, and take it with you anywhere you go. It weighs at what, 42, 45 pounds?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple specs.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about it.
So this is a Blaupunk product as well. So while it is not maybe necessarily something that is directly in our wheelhouse, again, you probably don't have a ton of e-bikes that you're offering out at your shops right now, but this is coming from a company that is in our wheelhouse, that's part of our community, part of our family. Blaupunk actually launched the first car stereo in 1932.
Wow.
So they've been around. Most people have heard of them. We get questions, you know, now that we're talking about these. Hey,
well,
what
we
about
all
everything
remember
else?
the commercial with the
Yeah.
bunny. Remember the bunny in the back? The
you have to-
bunny jumping on top. You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they had the radios with the handle. You pull it right out the dash, and
Yep.
that was like the first security. You take that thing with you when you went into the grocery store.
Yep. So if you haven't seen the commercials we're talking about, just look up Blaupunk commercial on YouTube and you'll see what I'm talking about.
But yeah, so Blaupunk, it's a German engineered piece.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think we're in cars. Some of the most highly touted, most coveted vehicles are German engineered vehicles. So this shares that German engineering, but they do change some things up. They use a magnesium frame versus aluminum. So 20% or 21% stronger, 33% lighter. A lot of the competition's using aluminum. So superior corrosion resistance, rigidity, all that kind of stuff. It's also a single die cast frame. Now, check out the YouTube
Big
video.
differences.
Maybe get some more specs on this one. But basically what it is where the bike folds, there's no welds, there's no ugly welds, there's no break points. It's all single die cast. So again, for quality, for overall wear and tear. Again, I'm struggling with a couple words today. My apologies, there, but it's going to be the best that's out there when it comes to that.
So in other words, what Ben is saying, that this is almost like a mountain bike where you can take it off-roading, don't have to worry about the bike collapsing on you. I've seen it a couple of times already with a couple of kids where they're riding the e-bikes and it just breaks in a couple chunks. Look, another cool feature about this bike is that it has a digital display on the handlebars itself to tell you your speed, your charge, etc. It will get you, I don't remember exactly how many miles.
Yeah, so the thing's 47 pounds to start out. When it folds up, it's under 2 feet by 3 feet.
That's nothing.
So very, very small. Could fit in a closet, could fit in a camper, could fit in the trunk of a car, could fit in the back seat. You could take this, if you use public transportation, maybe you're going on vacation, you could fold this thing up. Again, 47 pounds for an e-bike, very, very light, but as long as you can carry that, you could take this onto public transportation, onto a bus, get off the bus, get on the bike, and then keep going on your way. So only 47 pounds, but the thing could hit 20 miles per hour.
With me on it, guys.
20 miles per hour. So you're going to be able to cook on there and go as fast as you need to. It is total 6-speed, and you can get up to 45 miles on a single charge. So if you're looking to cover some ground, again, you're going to go on vacation, you're not going to have the opportunity to charge the thing every few hundred feet. Don't worry about it. If you can cover 45 miles on this thing, you're going to be out there for quite a while. But
when you go off-roading, you could always put your sock gloves on and just, hit the trails with that bike. So that way you don't sweat, because I sweat a lot.
Yeah, so you can keep it in some of the lower modes. You can get that total 45 miles, or you can pop this baby up all the way. I don't know if you're going to get 45 miles on it doing 20 miles an hour, but I don't think you're going to need to on there.
But it's a pretty cool piece, guys. You guys are always asking about, you want additional pieces to sell in your sales floors. This is a piece that's not online. If it's online, it's at full retail. Retail is $15.99. You can make great margin on it, make some good profits. You're gonna sell this bike and you're never gonna see it come back because it's an e-bike. So guys already know, it's the only e-bike also on the market that has a removable battery. So you can either charge it while on the bike or take the battery out and just charge it at home. It takes about an hour or two to charge fully from empty to full. But we're talking about, this is the same way that Tesla's been doing it. You know what I mean? You're charging it overnight. You're using it during the day, getting to work, wherever you're doing, and you're making sure that you're helping our ozone layer, should I say, because there's no emissions on these bikes.
Yeah, and being that it's an electric bike, they also do cool things like it's got a headlight on there.
Yeah.
So again,
taillight.
You don't have to worry about solar powered nothing. Nope, it's an e-bike. It's got a battery built on this. It's going to be able to have cool features like that on there as well. And one other thing I wanted to mention too, because sometimes when we have products like this coming out, people be like, well, why an e-bike? What are we doing with e-bikes? For one, first order of these sold out.
Already sold out.
Second order of these that's inbound has not landed yet. Sold out. So there is some demand out there, maybe even more than some demand. So this is something that there is interest in. So let's break that thought process right away. There are going to be people that are out there. And again, a lot of you guys might be those customers as well. So it might not just be your customers. You might be a customer for one of these as well. What better way to sell them than have one yourself and be able to speak to it?
One of the shops that actually called me up when I posted it up on my Facebook page goes, hey, I want to put on pre-order on one of those e-bikes when you get them in, which we already got the first batch sold out, like Ben said. Second batch is actually coming in this Thursday. Already sold out also. So on the next batch, put your name on it. But he goes, I want to go with my daughter riding around. So, I want something that is going to look uniformed, because we're going to have several colors on them. Look uniform, and on top of that, be environmentally good. So he ended up picking up 2 of those bikes, one for him and one for his daughter. And then he goes, what's a good thing about this? I could actually bring it to the shop, put a price tag on it, with a sign, and just leave it there at the shop so that customers see, well, we're in the e-bike business. Guys, a lot of people, and don't, I don't want to say the wrong things right now, but reality is, bike shops are doing a killing. You think that they're in business to sell one bike a month? No, they're selling a ton of bikes. A lot of power sports shops are selling a ton of e-bikes and even power sports stuff. So if you're not in the business to give them, a run, what they say, a run for your money, then you're out of business. And let me tell you, always think outside the box. These guys are doing big sound systems. They see the e-bike on your sales floor. They be like, oh, I want that. How much more can I add that? Oh, I'm spending already $15,000, $20,000 doing my system. What's another $1,600 to add to that bill? Guys, it just makes sense. Always keep thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and two quick other things. So we see it a lot now. There used to be ride shares. Like if you went to New York City, be able to get a pedal bike, you'd be able to go in, you throw in the money, you get the pedal bike, you return it later. Kind of transitioned over to scooters. We started to see a lot of scooters out there. E-bikes are the fastest rising category in that share category. So more and more people are getting used to seeing e-bikes out there. More and more people are using them when they're on vacation through rentals and things like that. And more people are saying, I got to have one of these for when I get back home. So you're going to get that customer base. Here's another one. It's a little bit taboo, but it is going to be true in our industry. A lot of us do breathalyzers. A lot of us deal with people that unfortunately have DUIs. Some of our best customers, our most frequently repeat customers, are people that unfortunately have to go through that. Some of those people can't drive their cars anymore. No license needed, no registration for this as well. Again, not something that we really, you really want to be like, oh man, we're going to capitalize on other people's problems, but these are things that are out there. These are guys that you are going to be running into, and this could be a great solution for some of those as well. So having that out there, again, maybe you're hoping that's not the main driver of it. You're hoping that the customer comes in, gets that big Alpine Sony ES system, and then says, hey, you got one of those too? Let's throw one in the trunk, and here's my credit card.
Yeah.
But you've got some built-in customer base already for you if you're doing that service.
It's funny. I never thought about that. You are absolutely correct. For the guys that do the breathalyzers, this is a win-win for you to just put one on the sales floor with a price tag. Because believe it or not, a lot of those breathalyzer guys, and I hate to say it, won't be their first offense, won't be their last offense. So, some even get their licenses revoked because they've had so many different offenses. So this is your time to actually put something in your shop that you can make money.
Yeah, and unfortunately, again, those customers are going to have to figure something out. They're going to do something anyways. They're going to give their money to somebody. Might as well be you guys.
Correct. And on top of that, you're carrying one of the most well-known e-bikes in the industry. You're not carrying some cheap, I hate to say, overseas knockoff. You're carrying something that's been around in Europe, humongous. I mean humongous in Europe. So we're carrying a lot of lines, believe it or not, that are actually well-known name brands. Like you've got the fire extinguisher, the Element. That's another humongous name. You got, who's the big guy that does, oh my God, Jay Leno. Jay Leno, when you've got a backing like a guy like Jay Leno that believes in the product, that tells you the product is legit, And
I will clarify, it is overseas, but it's the right overseas.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to see stuff coming from, if we're going like the opposite way, we're flying over California and heading out that way. That's not the overseas a lot of people really are associating with quality. We go over to the Europe side, again, German engineering, French engineering when it comes to the element stuff. Now you're talking a much higher quality and a much better outlook from your customers when they're thinking about these brands and where they come from.
Correct. So guys, I know it's kind of been long-winded. Sorry, I have my socks on, try to keep the hands from sweating. Just wanted to make sure that you guys are all entertained and get a lot of information about all these new lines we're bringing in. Won't bore you anymore. Sorry. Love you.
Yep. And as soon as you register for the Winter Summit, on the 13th, we'll go ahead and we'll let you go. We'll let you get out of here. You won't have to watch anymore. But first, you got to make sure you register. Well, the registration's coming up soon. You got to put it on your calendar. Mark it right now. We'll wait. Okay, thank you. Now we can let you go.
September 13th. And they smell like Downy.
Excellent.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Have a good day.
We'll see you next week.